Hey, it's Brian. This is the Daily Bee. Hey, it's Brian Wright from BrianWright732.com. So, came off of 3 weeks here where did really good as a team. So, my gym, Killer Bee Combat Sports and Fitness Academy in Oakhurst, New Jersey, we had 3 fights in 3 weeks, and they were all title fights, and we won all those fights. And it's extremely important that you celebrate your success, which we did. We were extremely happy about it. But the other aspect of it here is that you have to be analytical and not judgmental about the process. Meaning, if I sit here and I say, okay, I've done something I haven't done before, which is 3 titles in 3 weeks, okay, I've arrived. There's no such thing. There's no such thing. I can't give myself that judgment where I'm inflating my actual position. And my position has got to be this analytical spot where I'm looking at what we did and I'm saying, how did we achieve this success? How can we replicate the positive mechanisms here? And then also look at the success and say, okay, we weren't perfect, so where do we struggle? Where do we do well? What's the balance of it all? Basically look at all the experience and figure out, how do I maintain that value? How do I increase that value? How do I move forward and get better? So being analytical instead of judgmental allows you to make progress. The same thing goes for if we lost. What if I lost all 3? Because I've done that too. I've lost 3 fights in a row. I've lost 5 fights in a row. At one point, I think we lost 9 fights in a row. It's the nature of the beast. You know, it's going to go up and down. You're going to have great moments and you're going to have low moments. And you've got to look at them all. And if you sit there on the low side and go, you're a piece of shit because you lost, what's going to happen there? Nothing good. And then if on the high side you're looking at it and saying, I'm the greatest, again, nothing good's going to happen. But if I look at it all and I look at all the pieces that put together the experience and I figure out, again, the positive value, the negative things, and everything in between, it gives me the opportunity to regroup, continue to fortify what we're doing, and move forward. The inappropriate understanding of the wins led to losses. The proper understanding of losses led to wins. It's not about sitting here and judging myself and allowing emotion and ego to dictate. It's constantly being analytical and understanding that it's a long game, and the satisfaction of this is the process. And it's not just today, but it's constantly challenging yourself to take what you do today and create value tomorrow, over and over and over again. I guess that's the thing. Like, winning a title is great, but the next step is what matters. So we never stop. Always grinding, always hustling, always trying to move forward. It hasn't always been this way. A lot of times I was looking to get somewhere, and then I got there and it was like, okay, maybe it wasn't as great as I thought it was going to be, or I didn't achieve what I wanted to and I got there and it got weird. I've had to shift, and now I really try and challenge each day and say, how do I beat the guy that I was yesterday, today? And that's what keeps me staying valuable, staying engaged, and gives me a deeper satisfaction or a sense of satisfaction in what I'm doing. When we bring the emotion and the judgment into it, on the good or the bad, it's just this weight that we put around our neck, and it just skews us from what the actual practical reality is. So when faced with whatever result you've got, look at it analytically, break it all down, figure out what you need to carry forward, what you need to let go of, what you have to adjust, and just keep moving forward, keep staying positive, keep making progress. That's the whole point, isn't it? It's why we do the things that we do. This is just on the fighting side of it. And then you look on the day-to-day training side. If I was judgmental and emotional about it, I wouldn't be able to do anything, or I never would have been able to, and nobody that trains ever would. Think about it. You go to the gym and you ride a treadmill, or you lift weights, or you do functional training, you do whatever. When you walk out, you don't see the results. I mean, you're sweaty and you're tired and you feel it, but you don't see it. You don't get home, look in the mirror, and when you didn't have abs, now all of a sudden you have abs. It's a slow progression. It's almost like you start off and you're soft, and then one day you can wake up and you're like, oh shit, I'm hard now. Like, where did the cuts come from? They don't just happen. It's a slow progression. And if you're being judgmental every day and you're killing yourself, you're never going to be able to sustain the work. You're never going to be able to get up every day and be able to kill yourself and torture yourself to get the results that you want when you can't see the actual return in that moment. You've got to, put it all together and say, this is where I'm going. And just every day, just be analytical about the process. Did you give it everything you had? Was this the most effective system that you could have been working? Where was your mind at? Where was everything at? Were you firing on all cylinders? Did you eat right? Did you sleep right? Did you fuel yourself? Did you pay attention? Like all the different things involved. And focus on that. And keep trying to perfect that process. And then those results that you're looking for are going to come. Again, they're going to come out of nowhere on you because one day you're going to look in the mirror and somebody's going to say, hey, wow, you look great. And you're going to go, really? And then you'll look back and you look at one of your selfies and you go, oh, shit, I really have changed. It's just keep going forward, keep making progress, keep adjusting along the way. Just keep all that judgment and that emotional connection to the process out of it. And just do the work. Do the work day in and day out. And just get into the idea, get into the process of being satisfied with the little growth, with the little things. Seeing yesterday you did it one way, today you did it another, and it was better or it was worse or whatever. And again, it's funny, a lot of times I've done things wrong, and I've seen that I've done them wrong, and the sense of accomplishment that I've gotten by just being in a place where I can identify those, because that's growth in itself. Having the ability to look at things I've done and be critical about it, and then be able to make changes. I gave myself the opportunity to make changes by being analytical, not being judgmental. I didn't say, you're a piece of shit, you can't do this. I said, okay, I couldn't do it, so what do I have to do so I can? And I work towards it. And then when I can, great. And then even in the beginning, the motivation comes from just even being able to see the process. So staying positive in more ways than anything is just not allowing all that weird baggage we pull in, that we start attaching these creative adjectives that make us feel like shit. Staying positive is getting rid of the adjectives, focusing on reality, just doing that work day in and day out, and keeping ourselves in a forward direction instead of constantly looking backwards and feeling like shit because of things we did. It's recognizing what we did, figuring out where we want to go, and staying on point. So that's my little rant for the day. So this is Brian Wright, this is the Daily Bee, and I am out.